Good morning, traders. I'm Michael Sabo, Senior Market Strategist with RJO Futures here in Chicago on March 12th, bringing you some commentary here in the energy market. So let's get started. May crude prices here. We're down a little over $2 a barrel right now, trading around 97.45. Brent's off as well, around 107.49. That's only off about 40 cents. So we are starting to see that spread widen out. It's something I've talked about some of these prior posts here. That spread really got down there, and now we're actually starting to see that thing widen out a little bit. So I do have some ideas on how you could possibly position if you're interested in trading that spread. Give me a call. Taking a look at the complex, we're weaker there as well. RBOB's off about 1.5, and the heat's off about 2 3/4 cents. So certainly seeing the follow through there in the complex. Nat gas also weaker. It's off almost 2%. We're down a little over 6 cents here right now. So basically weaker tone across the board. One thing I want to point out here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about, the oil market, and something, if we take a look at the recent activity here on the charts here, March 3rd, we saw oil hit a high there, the May contract of 104.48 a barrel. Today, so far a low, we're trading right around 97.35, although this thing has been under a lot of pressure. So we've seen a considerable sell-off. Out of the last 8 trading sessions, crude oil has been down 5 out of the last 8 trading sessions. So certainly a much weaker tone. We're really seeing a lot of steam being taken out of this market. And for those of you that follow me here, lately I have been, my opinion, I have been bullish here on the oil market. And, it's interesting to see how crude prices did get up above $100 a barrel and how quickly they're coming back down. And I think it's just a case because traders realize, I think, that we do have a lot of oil right now. Take a look at the latest EIA data that just came out here a little bit earlier this morning. Another build. Traders were looking for a build of about 1.75 million barrels, came in at 6.2 million barrels. And yet the market was already down before we even got that information. The market was already selling off here a little bit. So, the last 5 EIA reports here over the last 5 weeks, we've seen consecutive builds, this one being the largest, but nonetheless, we have been seeing builds. We're only about 13 million barrels off our all-time highs for this time of year. So again, in my opinion, I think we've got plenty of oil out there. Looking at capacity utilization, last year, this time, we were running at about 81%. This year, we're running at about 86%. So when you really take a look at that, what that tells me is that, refineries there is demand there for the oil, but yet we still have plenty in stocks here. So, I'm not, I don't think crude prices are going to just continue to sell off, but I do think here, breaking down below $100 a barrel, this is an area that we've been kind of targeting here to be trading in this $90 range. And I've got some ideas on how you can still play this market. If you're long, give me a call. I could talk to you about some ways to manage your risk. If you're short or you're thinking about getting short, I've got some strategies that you could potentially utilize using some bear put ratio spreads. We can get into a little bit more detail. One thing I think that's important here to note, taking a look at the latest COT report here, right now there's a record amount of net spec long positions. So these sell-offs could potentially go a little bit deeper here. If these longs start to come under pressure and really start getting squeezed here, we could see quite a bit of selling pressure coming into the market. In addition to that, I think something else that's worth noting is that last month we saw Saudi oil output increase by about 1% here. So again, taking a look at the big picture, I think there's plenty of oil out in the market. Looking at economic data, we've seen some real weak data coming out of China here recently, as well as some weaker data here in the States. Once again, I think here in the short term, crude prices could still be coming under some pressure. So give me a call, shoot me an email. We'll get into a lot more detail.
Futures and options on futures may involve substantial risk and may not be suitable for all investors.